Hey YouTube, Rider Zero here today with a new review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Young Justice Superboy figure. As the sentence that I just blurted out implies there, this was the exclusive that Mattel had over the weekend for Comic-Con. This is the Young Justice animated version of Superboy. It actually comes in a cloning chamber, which is pretty neat. We'll take a look at that here in a second. I don't know that there are plans to have this released outside of Comic-Con, at least in this format, so if somebody has any more info on that, feel free to post it in the comments. I didn't see anything mentioned where I was looking, so I really don't know for sure. Again, though, this was available exclusively at the Mattel booth during Comic-Con over this past weekend. It's a pretty cool little figure. The cloning chamber that it comes with is pretty nice, and like I said, we'll take a look at that in a second. First off, we'll take a look at the box, which has some pretty nice artwork on it in the style of the Young Justice cartoon. You can actually, of course, see Superboy there on the front of it. You can kind of see the DC logo here at the top, DC Universe. It says Young Justice, Superboy, and Cloning Chamber there. On this side, you get pictures of other members of the Young Justice League. Same over here, you get Robin, Aqualad, etc. On the back here, you get a little description, kind of, I guess it's supposed to be like a project file. I don't know if they're calling it Project Krypton, Project KR, whatnot. KR, of course, is the periodic table. You know, for those of you that know science, KR is the symbol for Krypton. You know, Krypton, Kryptonite, etc. So we're going to call it Project Krypton. The little blurb says, Deep Underground on Sublevel 52 of Project Cadmus, Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash discover the mysterious Project Krypton, where the Light has commissioned the weapon. Manipulating Superman's DNA without his knowledge or consent, Cadmus has force-grown the Superboy using telepathic Genomorph Gnomes to make a virtual slave of Superman's son. In file. So yeah, pretty neat little background on Superboy there. Not really a background, but an interesting little blurb anyway. So that's the box. We'll go ahead and set this aside, and we'll move the cloning chamber into place so you can take a look at that. So there is the Superboy figure inside of the cloning chamber. The cloning chamber is actually just kind of like another box. It is all cardboard, but not that that's a bad thing, because it's still, you know, it's still a pretty nice little gimmick display piece, whatever you want to call it. We'll pull Superboy out of there here in a minute, but we'll take a look at the cloning chamber real quick to look at the features on it. It pretty much carries over the same design all the way around. You can see it pretty much looks like a chamber there. The button to activate the lights is there at the bottom. And then on the top here, it has the Young Justice logo. You can't see them very well, but inside there, right above Superboy's head, there are 3 little Genomorph Gnomes there, pumping him full of information. I don't know how well this is going to pick up, considering the amount of light flooding into the room right now. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button and see if the lights show up. Yeah, it's coming up pretty good. So when you hit the button, that's what happens. You get the little flashing lights, and it stays lit up blue there for a few seconds. Then it flashes again and shuts off. It's got 2 little blue LEDs there at the feet. See if we can see them on camera. You can see them there. It's got the 2 little blue LEDs in there. Pretty interesting little effect. I thought that was a pretty nice little touch that they added in, and I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to go ahead and pause here real quick. I'm going to get the Superboy figure out, and we'll take a look at the figure. And we're back with Superboy busted out of his clone chamber. Robin came by to help me out with that, just like in the cartoon. No, I'm kidding. That was a really lame joke. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot to go over with the actual figure himself. Articulation is very limited. Detail-wise, there's not a whole lot about him because he's in the whole like Cadmus cloning suit or whatever. We'll go ahead and take a look real quick at the little morph gnome thingy that it came packaged with. It actually comes packaged with 3 of them. Let me try to focus in here on the detail. There we go. It's actually pretty nicely detailed. It's got some nice little paint apps there on the sides. I only pulled 1 of them out of the package because they're all the same, so there's really no point in showing all 3 of them, but it does come with 3. Pretty nice little addition, though. It looks really nice when it's, you know, in the package with the other 2 for the whole cloning chamber thing. So, setting him aside, we'll take a look at the actual Superboy figure. It's pretty nicely detailed. It looks pretty much identical to his animated counterpart. Like I said, again, he's pretty much all done in this same like white molded plastic. A little bit of pearl white added on to the color after it was finished. Not a whole lot of detailing. You can see there a little bit of detailing for the shoe piece or the boot or whatever. And then that's pretty much it aside from the logo. The logo is pretty nicely done. A little bit of bleeding and, you know, extra color there on the top of mine. You can kind of make it out a little bit there, but it's okay. The eyes were actually straight, which is a bonus. It's always cool to get straight eyes. And that's pretty much it for the detailing. It pretty much just carries over that whole white suit all throughout the figure. Articulation-wise, like I said again, it's very limited. The head does have a little bit of up and down play, and it is, you know, rotatable all the way around. And then for the shoulders and arms, the only movement you get is the rotation. And then for the legs, that's about as far as they go back without forcing it any further. And then that's pretty much the extent of it moving forward. So, like I said, there's not a whole lot to this figure. It does fit in pretty well with the rest of the Young Justice figures, if you have any of those or plan to get any of those. But however, the whole selling point, I think, for the figure was the cloning chamber and, you know, that whole aesthetic with him being in the cloning chamber and, you know, kind of the first appearance thing like I mentioned before. So that's pretty much it with this guy. I'm going to try to pop him back in the cloning chamber as I talk here. Like I said, it was available at Comic-Con. I don't know if they're going to have any, you know, afterwards, like some places will. I know, like Hasbro, they sell some of their exclusives after Comic-Con, but I guess we'll have to see on this one. I don't know that I could fully recommend it as a standalone purchase. I mean, if you're going to collect the line, it's pretty cool to have. It's a good display centerpiece for the line. But as a standalone, I don't know that I could fully, wholeheartedly recommend it. $20 is a little bit steep. If you happen to find it for cheaper, I would say get it. Just for the whole, you know, the cloning chamber thing, it does look pretty nice when you've got it all together. But, you know, otherwise, I think it's one you could avoid unless you're, you know, just gung-ho, die-hard collecting the line. So, that pretty much does it for this particular review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, as always, feel free to hit me up, post them in the comments, send me a message, hit me up on Twitter, whatever you feel like doing. Don't forget to check out RidersRangersandRambles.com for all the latest news on Toku and comics in the craziest way possible. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/RiderZero. And that's going to do it. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.